Hey guys, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a fun video, at least for me. These are super fun. I am going to be doing a book unhaul. These are some of the books that have been living on my shelf that I'm either 1, not going to read, 2, not going to reread, or 3, just don't have an interest in anymore. So I have 2 full bags here that I will be going and taking to Half Price Books or a local library to donate, just so they're not here anymore. Just, you know, it's that time again where you just have to get rid of those books to make room for new things, and I would rather buy new things than keep the old ones that I do not want to read anymore. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this unhaul. The first 2 books that I have here are probably going to be a little controversial, and that is The Wrath in the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger, both by Renee Aye. I just don't have any, like, desire to read these, I guess is what you would say. These are not something that I find interesting, and I just don't want them on my shelves anymore, so they will be getting a new home somewhere else that is not here. Next couple of things I have in my bag are going to be by the same author, and that is The Girl the Sea Gave Back and Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. Again, some I'm just not interested in. These are like more Norse mythology than anything. I haven't really found interest in Norse mythology, so we're just going to give these a new home, and hopefully somebody will enjoy them more than they have enjoyed living their very short lives on my shelf. So again, off to a new and better place it goes. Alright, next I have The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. Again, this was very popular on BookTube. Never really got around to it, and just really have no desire. I know this came out a couple years back, but if I want to read it, I will find it on Kindle or something, I'm sure. But this book was published in 2017. I've probably had this book for about as long, and I have not read it. So we're just going to go ahead and give it a new home. And then the next one I have is 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott with Mickey Daughtry and Tobias Lakanis. This was turned into a movie. I've seen the movie. I've cried. I don't want to read it. I didn't realize when the movie did come out that it was the same thing. This is about, I think, cystic fibrosis, and anyway, it's a very, very sad disease. It's a very lonely disease. It's very heartbreaking to see somebody go through disease. And I loved the movie. I just can't bring myself to read the book and cry all over again. So we're going to go ahead and give it a new home, and hopefully its new owner will love it much more than I do. So alright, let's see, what else can we pull out of this bag? I have it packed pretty decently here. Alright, next we have Thief of Lies by Brenda Drake. Again, one of those magical library books that I just don't have any desire in reading anymore, and we're just going to go ahead and give it a new home, and have somebody else read it that I'm sure will absolutely love it. Again, I bought this back probably 2017, 2018, or whenever this book came out, which is probably close to that time. When did it come out? 2016, yeah. So I've had it for a while, but just time to find a new home. Alright, the next 3 books I have in here are from the same series. Now I did read the first one. It was okay. That's why I'm giving these books a new home. I have no desire to read the rest of them. And so the first one is When Dimple Met Rishi, and then we have From Twinkle with Love, and then there's Something About Sweetie. So these are kind of like a companion series. I've read this one. I listened to the audiobook. It was fantastic. But I don't see myself rereading this series, or at least this book, and I figured that somebody else who is coming of age or closer to high school would rather enjoy these. I am not really into reading about high school anymore, unless it's dark academia, then that's a whole different thing. But overall, I really enjoyed this series. I just think somebody else would appreciate it more than them living on my shelves and not being reread. So going to find a new home. Alright, let's see here. Oh, this next book is probably going to get me some hate, but honestly, I don't have a desire to read it, and I don't want it just sitting on my shelf not being read. So, we have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I'm not really into African mythology and lore, and I know this is a really good book. I just don't have the time or like the mental capacity to learn about different things, and I know that makes me ignorant. And yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. This book, I've heard really good things. It's just something that I need to have a lot of time for, and at this moment in time, like, this is not really what I want to read. Also, like, young adult is just not a genre that I read anymore, and this would literally just be sitting on my shelf, not being read, and just collecting dust. So instead of it doing that, I'm going to donate it so somebody else can appreciate it for what it is. It is a fantastic book. I'm just not going to be able to read it. And if I do so, like, have a desire to read it further on in the future, I will do that. It's just not something that I plan on doing now or in the foreseeable future. So we're going to give it a new home, and hopefully whoever its new owner is will appreciate for what it is. Just, that's not me. Sorry. Alright, so the next 4 are in a series as well, and that is like the Truthwitch series. So I have Truthwitch, Windwitch, Sightwitch, and Bloodwitch. Not into the witch thing anymore, as far as like YA is concerned. This is also a thing of, I saw it on books, like BookTube, and people were buying it off of Book Outlet, and I bought them. That's literally what this was. It was a peer pressure buy that everyone else had them, and like I needed to have them in order to fit in. I've learned from my mistakes, and I only buy what I'm interested in now. So these, I'm not interested in them anymore, and I feel like somebody else would very much enjoy them, and they would have a much better life not on my shelf. So let's go ahead and put these back in the bag here. The next 2 that I have in this bag is going to be Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This is book 1 and book 2 of this series. Spoiler alert, I'm also getting rid of the Remnant Chronicles. They're just in a different bag. I have decided that I'm getting rid of books that I don't see myself reading anytime soon. So these, I can repurchase them. That's what they're for, if I so desire. But as of like right now, they're not something that I see myself reading. And I did read the Remnants Chronicles, and I liked them. I just don't feel like a companion series is something that I would find interesting. So we're going to go ahead and give them a new home. And whoever gets them, I'm sure, will enjoy them as much as I did. But they can't stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's what the rule is, alright? And then the last 2 things that I have in this bag were also cover buys, and that is The Last Musician and The Double Thief, both by Lisa Maxwell. Again, these are peer pressure buys from BookTube. Everyone was talking about The Last Musician, and I have Reagan from Peruse Project to blame for this purchase because she loved it, and I wanted to read it, and I wanted to love it. But when I got it, I just didn't read it. So we're just gonna have it go to somebody else, and hopefully they will enjoy it. I believe this is like YA middle grade almost, but we'll see. I really hope that whoever gets these books is going to enjoy them more than I have. I've liked them living on my shelves and looking pretty, but that's not what they're for. They're for reading and for learning something new and reading about adventure and stuff like that. But overall, these books they're going to be getting new homes, and I'm happy about that. So I wish that whoever gets these books is going to enjoy them as much as I did. And I really hope that their next journey will be a fun one. But they're just not going to be here anymore. And this was all of my hardbacks. I broke them up into hardbacks and paperbacks. I do have another bag of paperbacks that I will be getting rid of. Unless there's one book in here that I'm thinking about, then I'll grab that and put it aside. Because if I do have it in there, then we're not getting rid of it. I just can't seem to find it anywhere on my shelves. And I thought I had it, but I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be part 1 of my book Unhaul video series. So this is book 1, or part 1. We'll be doing part 2 later on in the month. So look out for that. I think that might be actually in September. So not this month, but September. So these are all the books that I will be unhauling. If you have read any of these, let me know what you thought about them in the comments below. I'm sorry if these are your favorite books. They are just not pertinent to what I want to be reading at the moment, and I feel like instead of holding on to them, I'm going to give them to somebody who will appreciate them for what they are, and I hope that whoever gets them will enjoy them, and that's pretty much it. So if you liked this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you don't know, I have my social media links in the description box, as well as just my Instagram and my Goodreads. Those are the 2 that I am mainly active on. So those links are in the description box for you as well. And I hope you guys will have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time.